Forces report.
66 degrees north, the edge of the livable world. A place where the sun forgets to rise for months at a time and where the wind carries enough chill to freeze the breath in your lungs. For 70 years, we called this the quiet flank of NATO, a frozen storage locker for American radar and Danish sovereignty. But look closer. Those aren't Russian trawlers on the horizon. And those Danish warships scrambling in the North Atlantic, they aren't maneuvering to intercept a Chinese submarine. They are maneuvering to send a message to their oldest ally. Welcome to 2026, the year the United States decided to stop being the world's policeman and started being the world's landlord. Visual, map graphic. Greenland turns from white to gold. A for sale sign is. You thought the Buy Greenland headline was a joke? A meme from the first term? Wake up. As reported by the Washington Post just yesterday, this isn't a diplomatic gaffe anymore. It is a siege. The Trump administration is zeroing in on the territory with the precision of a corporate raider eyeing a distressed asset in a gentrifying neighborhood. The landlord, Denmark, doesn't want to sell, but the developer, Washington, just bought the bank holding the mortgage. And while the world is fixated on the audacity of the Arctic purchase, they are missing the fire in the basement. Look at the ticker. In Syria, ISIS fighters are breaking out of jails because the chaotic handover of government has left the cages unlocked. In Iran, the regime has pulled the plug on the internet, plunging 88 million people into a digital blackout to hide their internal crackdowns. In Russia, a U.S. veteran has just been sentenced to 5 years in a penal colony, forced to dock a firearm he didn't own, and Washington's response has been muted, transactional, cold. Do you see the pattern yet? The UN Secretary General claims the U.S. is putting power over international law. He's right, but he's crying over a corpse. The rules-based international order, that polite fiction we've lived under since 1945, didn't die of natural causes. It was murdered, and we are currently watching the reading of the will. This isn't isolationism. Isolationism is staying home. This is liquidation. The United States is no longer interested in maintaining the global commons. It is interested in securing the VIP section and charging admission. Greenland is just the opening bid. The melting ice isn't a climate tragedy in this calculus. It's a business opportunity. It's a shipping lane. It's a rare earth mine. It's the ultimate high ground. So, why does Denmark ramping up defenses matter to your portfolio? Why should you care about a veteran rotting in a Russian cell? Because the price of safety just went up, and the landlord is coming to collect. Let's look at the lease. Let's clear the air. In geopolitics, there are no friends. There are only business partners and liabilities. And right now, Europe is looking less like a partner and more like a liability with a maxed-out credit card. We are witnessing the most acrimonious divorce in history, the Continental Divorce. Continental. There are no friends. There are only business partners and liabilities. And right now, Europe is looking less like a partner and more like a liability with a maxed-out credit card. We are witnessing the most acrimonious divorce in history, the Continental Divorce. According to the Washington Post, the Trump administration isn't just looking north, they're looking east with a calculator. The new tariff proposals on European goods aren't a trade dispute. They are an eviction notice for the post-war economic order. For decades, the deal was simple. The U.S. provides the security umbrella, and Europe provides the market stability. A nice, boring marriage. But Washington has crunched the numbers and realized the premiums on that security insurance are too high. Think about it. Europe is fighting a two-front war. To their east, they have a Russian bear that smells weakness. To their west, they have an American eagle that smells money. The tariffs are the squeeze. The message is brutal. You want our destroyers protecting your shipping lanes. Then stop taxing our tech giants and start buying our liquefied natural gas at a premium. And into this bar fight walks the United Nations, blowing a whistle that nobody can hear. The Secretary General claims the U.S. is putting power over international law. He's acting like a referee trying to issue a red card to a runaway freight train. The Trump administration's response to the UN isn't anger, it's boredom. See, the United Nations operates on the quaint idea that all sovereign states are equal. Washington operates on the reality that they are not. When the U.S. questions the UN's relevance, they aren't just being difficult. They are saying that multilateralism, the idea of decision by committee, is a bad business model. It's slow, it's expensive, and it doesn't secure prime real estate in the Arctic. Which brings us back to the main event, the ice. Let's strip away the environmental moralizing for a second. Put down your reusable straw and look at the map. The Washington Post tells us the Arctic is melting. To an environmentalist, that's a catastrophe. To a geopolitical strategist, that is an IPO, an initial public offering of the planet's last untapped frontier. The ice isn't melting. It's liquidating assets. Underneath that slush is the periodic table of elements that runs your life. Neodymium, dysprosium, the stuff inside your iPhone, your Tesla, and crucially inside the guidance chip of a Tomahawk missile. Right now, China controls the supply chain for these rare earth elements. Buying Greenland or leasing it into perpetuity isn't about ego. It's about breaking the Chinese chokehold on the 21st century. And don't let anyone tell you this is a new idea. History has a funny way of stuttering. In 1946, President Harry Truman offered Denmark $100 million in gold bars for Greenland. He saw the map. He knew that whoever holds Greenland holds the Gjuk Gap, the gateway between the Atlantic and the Arctic. If you control that gap, you control who enters the Atlantic Ocean. Truman was polite about it. He made an offer. The difference today is that the politeness is gone. We aren't asking to buy the house. We're threatening to rezone the neighborhood if they don't sell. But here is the dark irony of this new doctrine. While we are obsessing over future assets in the ice, we are ignoring the fires burning in the present. Look at Syria. Fox News reports that ISIS fighters are breaking out of jails amidst a chaotic government handover. This is the vacuum. This is what happens when a superpower stops being a hegemon and starts being a hedge fund. A hegemon builds nations, stabilizes regions, and keeps the prisons locked because stability is good for the global order. A hedge fund doesn't care about stability. It cares about ROI, return on investment. Keeping ISIS in jail in Syria has a low ROI. It's messy, it's expensive, and there's no oil under the prison. So the prisons break open. The fighters scatter. And Washington shrugs. This is the pivot point. The Trump Doctrine 2.0 isn't about isolationism. We are engaging more than ever, but only where there is a tangible asset to seize. We will move heaven and earth to secure a rock in the Arctic because it has strategic value. But we will let the Middle East slide back into caliphate-era chaos because nation-building is a depreciating asset. It is a terrifyingly rational calculation. The U.S. has decided it can't police the world and own it at the same time. So it chose ownership. The message to our allies is clear. You are on your own. The message to our enemies is confusing. We won't fight you for ideology, but we will fight you for resources. And the message to you, you need to understand that the map on your wall is outdated. The lines are being redrawn with a Sharpie. And in this game of musical chairs, the music has stopped, and the United States just sat in two chairs at once. But there is a human cost to this transaction. When you turn geopolitics into pure business, people stop being citizens and start being currency. Case in point, the veteran in the glass cage. In the old world, the world of diplomatic norms and moral high grounds, this man would be a crisis. A veteran wrongfully detained forced to dock a firearm he didn't own. We would be seeing State Department briefings, ribbon campaigns, outrage. But in the new world, he is a line item. He is loose change found in the geopolitical sofa cushions. He will likely be traded eventually, not for justice, but for something tangible. Maybe a spy, maybe a hacker, maybe a waiver on aluminum tariffs. He is collateral damage in a world where values have been replaced by valuations. And while we haggle over the price of a human life, the dark is rising elsewhere. Look at Iran. Fox News reports a darker digital blackout. The regime isn't just censoring the internet, they are deleting it. They are realizing that if you can't control the narrative, you simply unplug the audience. This is the split screen of our future. In the West, a chaotic high-stakes corporate raid on the Arctic. In the East, a terrifying descent into digital silence. The US wants to own the land. The dictatorships want to own reality. Both are retreating from the idea of a free, open world. So what does the bottom line look like? We have transitioned from Pax Americana to Lex Mercatoria, merchant law. Here is the forecast: Denmark will fold. They have to. They will likely agree to a 99-year lease on Greenland's bases that looks suspiciously like a sale just to save face. The United Nations will continue to hold meetings, but it will become a debating society for the powerless, a homeowners association that can issue fines but can't stop the bulldozers. By 2030, the Arctic will be the most militarized zone on Earth. The ice will be gone, replaced by shipping container ships and destroyers. You might think this doesn't affect you. You might think this is just politicians playing Risk. But remember, when the global order breaks, the pieces have to fall somewhere. They fall on your supply chain. They fall on your energy bill. They fall on the stability of the currency in your pocket. The map is being redrawn. The old alliances are dead letters. The US has hung a "under new management" sign on the Atlantic, and the rent is due. You can complain about the crude lines. You can mourn the loss of the rules. Or you can look north and realize the cold, hard truth. It's going to get freezing. I hope you brought your wallet. Welcome to the Scramble.